What is up? I'm back here live once again for the first time in maybe a couple of months. I don't remember when the last time it was that I went live, but last time I was live, Alexa Grasso had not had a win yet. So it's good to be back on top as an Alexa Grasso fan. And isn't it kind of funny how things just work out? She was supposed to fight Rose in her comeback fight, and it gets canceled like the week it gets booked. And I was kind of annoyed it got canceled because I was like, damn, this was like a good matchup. I was a fan of both. I felt it was a fight that was perfect for both ladies' careers. Like, this could have been good for for Alexa or Rose. If Rose would have won, she beats a former champ, gets a title shot. If Grasso wins, I mean, she'd still be in the same position she's in right now, beating Barber, but instead she gets injured. Fate shuffles the deck, and instead we get this fight, which I honestly did not like this matchup. I was more nervous about this fight than I was the Rose fight because I remember thinking to myself, like, dang, I cannot accept Alexa ever losing to Macy Barber. So I'm like, please, please don't fucking lose this fight to Macy Barber. And she did the complete opposite of lose. She went out there, packed her up, smoked her like a blunt, made it look easy, took her out in a single punch, and then just, wrapped the arms around the neck as like insult to injury. But thank God that Alexa Grasso is back in the win column. And now she's gained a whole lot of new fans. Like, a lot of people are jumping ship on Alexa Grasso, saying, oh, Alexa's so cool. That was one of the most badass UFC finishes I've ever seen. And she's already a candidate for maybe finish of the year right now. I mean, the year's not over yet, but she could get knockout of the year, submission of the year, although it's officially deemed as a KO win, not a sub. But I mean, the fact that she dropped her with a clean 1-2, had Barber literally shitting herself, and then choked her out, knocked her out, and choked her out, that was brutal. And now everyone sees what I've been seeing for years about Alexa Grasso, because when she was coming up, she was slept on. Nobody believed in her but me. I'm the one who predicted her to become the champion and take out Shevchenko, and she did just that. And then even when she lost, I did not give up. I kept backing her. I'm like, no, she's going to bounce back eventually. She may have lost to Val or Natalia, but these are different levels of competition. She's going to get it right eventually. And that she did. And now she remains in the top 3 of the women's flyweight division. And she, like I said, is still one of the best in the world. What's up, Toron? What's up, Lolita? Yeah, I know. That was bad. That was bad, bro. Like, it looked like Macy Barber was dead. The way she was out, eyes open, that was nasty. Oh, definitely. It's what I've been saying for years. Grasso beating Nat and Val in a rematch. Yeah, honestly, even about that, I wouldn't put it past her, I think the Alexa that we saw last Saturday was a better version of the Alexa Grasso that we saw at Noche UFC 2024 and UFC 315. I think Grasso, I think those losses only just elevated her to the next level. They pushed her. They pushed her to become a better version of herself. So if Grasso does get, a fourth chance with Valentina or a second chance with Natalia, I'm definitely not going to doubt her. SMH, fighters putting their lives on the line just to get paid breadcrumbs. I know, man. These fighters don't get paid their worth sometimes. Yep, Grasso is back. They did. Man, this card was just so huge for me emotionally because Adesanya is like my favorite male fighter. Grasso's my favorite female fighter. So I'm like, man, I hope both win. But I just had a bad feeling there's no way I would have gotten spoiled like that from the MMA gods. I'm like, only one of them can make it. And sadly, only Grasso made it and Izzy lost. Which I think that guy just needs to retire. I know he's like, I want to go again and again and again. Nah, homie. You've had an amazing career. Okay, you've already accomplished so much. I would like it if you just hang up the gloves. But yeah, UFC Seattle was a great card. I mean, it got ruined by the main event. I wish this was the main event. I wish Izzy already retired after getting finished by Amavov, and the main event was Grasso versus Barber, and that's how we finished the card. That would have been a pitch perfect main event. That would have been a pitch perfect close to such an amazing event where there was so many finishes, like so many first round knockouts, first round submissions. Like, what a card. And I thought that Grasso would win this by decision. I was like, oh, Grasso will win by decision against Macy Barber. But nah, she instead knocked her the hell out quickly and easily. And that's what I was hoping for in the first fight. In the first fight, I was hoping that Grasso would KO her. Didn't happen that way, unfortunately, but oh, at least it happened now. So now Barber can shut up about how, oh, I should have beaten Grasso if I let my hands go, and I just came back too late. Now she knows she lost fair and square with no asterisks beside it. Adesanya's eyes look tired. The pop is not there. I know, man. MMA fans are ridiculous at times. Trying to compare Izzy's downfall to Ferguson, it's literally not the same. Izzy had some competitive fights in his losing streak where Tony didn't. I mean, I do see the comparisons because I mean, both guys at one point in time were like at the top of the world, and then they just end up losing back-to-back fights. But I mean, you're right. Tony Ferguson's losses were, more dominant compared to Izzy. A lot of Izzy's fights is he's doing well until he's not. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Juliana Pena on this card since she is from Washington, but I don't know what she's doing these days. Maybe she's still recovering from her, arm surgery. I don't know. We're gonna see the Venezuelan Vixen back, but hopefully soon. The next card, I'm really not looking forward to it though. Renato Moicano versus Chris Duncan. I'm just gonna skip that card. I'm not even gonna do like a prediction video. I'm gonna keep my focus on UFC 327, Yuri Prohaska versus Carlos Ulberg. That's the card to look forward to. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up that card right now. So I mean, look at this card. The main event, Yuri Prohaska versus Carlos Ulberg for the vacant title, Joshua Van versus Tatsuro Taira, Curtis Blades versus Josh Hawkett, Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. That should be a banger. Azamat Mirzakhanov versus Paulo Costa. All great fights on this card. And then the prelims are good. Tatiana's on the early prelims, but you got Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico, Cub Swanson versus Nate Landwehr, Gamrot versus Ribovics, Holland versus Randy Brown. And yeah, I know Vincente Luque is fighting Kelvin Gastelum. They're just not updating it here on Google. And the early prelims, Tatiana Suarez versus Lupita Godinez. And I'm pretty damn sure Tatiana's going to win this fight. I know a lot of people are, for some reason, favoring Loopy to win. I don't really see what people are seeing in Loopy. I don't really think she's that good. I mean, she's lost to literally every step up in competition she's faced, she's lost to. And Tatiana, I believe, like outside of Zhang, before Zhang left the division, I'd say Tatiana was like the second best in the division. Now that Whaley's gone, and if she stays at flyweight, I'm gonna say it right now. I think Tatiana is the best in the division. And I mean, stylistically, it would be tough against the current champion, but even then, I think she could beat the current champion, Mackenzie Dern. So we'll see what happens with that fight, but I already accurately predicted that Grasso was going to do Barber dirty. So we'll see what happens with this prediction, but I'm also pretty confident with this fight as well. Hopefully with another win here, she can maybe get a crack at the title. I don't know who Dern's going to fight. I mean, maybe they could do Mackenzie Dern versus, I don't know, maybe Dern If Zhang's not going to come back, maybe they'll do Dern versus Jillian Robertson. I mean, if Zhang comes back, then maybe Robertson should fight the winner of Suarez versus Godinez, and then that can be like the title eliminator of the strawweight division. Let me read these comments. DJ, if you moved to the US, which city would you move to? Oh, good question. If anything, I don't know. Maybe Boston, considering I was like born there. Congrats, my man. Your girl took her out twice, decapitated her punk ass. Yes, she did. Did Coach Sheldon Harrison even do like a video on that fight? I'm surprised he hasn't if he hasn't already, because I know he doesn't like Macy Barber. And Barber, I mean, rightfully so. Barber was talking a lot of shit before this fight. Not really about Grasso, but just about the rest of the division, about Valentina, Natalia, Aaron. And it was just so entitled, saying, "Oh, I deserve a title shot if I beat Alexa Grasso." No one wants to see Natalia fight for the belt because she's a points fighter, even though Macy Barber has not had a finish since 2023, and that was her only finish since 2019, making that one finish in 7 years. Overall, has been a decision machine. For the most part, a lot of her wins have been like controversial decisions where she arguably could have lost some of these, like to Miranda Maverick and um, Andrea Lee, fights that many people thought she lost. Like, arguably, she should not have been on a freaking 7-fight win streak. And it was a padded win streak anyway. So I'm glad that Grasso humbled her, because she waited years for this revenge. She had this like 5-year revenge fantasy against Grasso. And I'm glad Grasso shut that shit down real quick, because she got shown her place. She got shown that she really is not on that level and that she needs to sit the heck down. It was never worthy of sharing the cage with Shevchenko. Would have lost to Natalia and Val all the same, the way Grasso did, but worse. And she ducked Manon Fiorot as well. She kept saying she doesn't want to fight Manon for some weird reason. I guess because she knew she'd lose that. And she ducked Erin Blanchfield. She literally pulled out because of a freaking panic attack. Like, imagine. So this loss needed to happen. Dern versus Robertson, fireworks. Yeah, I agree. That's a very interesting fight because you got two like jujitsu specialists going at it. I think Dern, I guess, might have like the striking advantage, but maybe Jillian is better at wrestling and getting her opponents down to use her jujitsu and better control. Dern doesn't really have the greatest wrestling, if I'm honest. And I feel like Jillian's probably more disciplined. She's good at like avoiding wild exchanges that could get her knocked out. Whereas Dern, she'll get herself in trouble by getting in brawls, which got her knocked out by Jessica. And, almost got her knocked out by Lemos, but got her to lose the fight. And we saw what Jillian did with Lemos. She won that fight pretty handily. So I definitely love to see how that fight could play out. Oh, where I live now? I live in Canada. Yep, exactly. I'm from the northeast side. Yeah, coach's got to do a video, man. He's got to do a video. Yeah, and Aaron Blanchfield would have ended that win streak. Like if Barber actually made the walk and didn't, have cold feet, I think she would have got choked out like Tracy Cortez. Who do you want Grasso to fight next? I think her and Aaron is a good fight. Worst case, Rose, even though Rose keeps losing, I think man and physical strength and size could be a problem for her. That's a good question. I don't really think Rose deserves that fight. I mean, she's coming off a loss, although she does have the robbery narratives protecting her. So maybe there's a chance that they might give her another chance against the top contender coming off a loss if they really think that she was robbed in their last fight by Natalia. I mean, I don't think so. Um, But I'm gonna say the Aaron fight makes the most sense. Yeah, I do Blanchfield versus Grasso. And then Manon could, I guess, wait out for the winner of. I don't know who Manon would fight. Maybe she could fight the winner of Natalia versus Valentina, potentially. Or if Wei Li stays in the division, they could do Wei Li versus Manon. But yeah, I wonder who else is in these rankings. I had to check out the rankings in the flyweight division. Yeah, if Manon doesn't fight Grasso, there's really no one for her to fight other than to fight for the belt. And honestly, I mean, she kind of does deserve it because she just destroyed Jasmine Jasdavicius in like brutal fashion, and she already had a competitive fight with the champion. So I wouldn't mind seeing them run that back, if anything. You know, if Valentina does beat Natalia Silva, but Grasso's not too far off from another shot herself. You know, if she can win at least one more fight, she could get right back in there to fight for the belt, which I would love to see. Dern is way stronger than Jillian. Yeah, I could see that. We need Grasso versus Manon and Mayo. Val fights track star Natalia. Yeah, no, Valentina versus Natalia was always the fight to make. That fight should have been done in MSG, but instead they made the super fight with Val and Wei Li, which wasn't really super at all, but they made that fight. But yeah, Natalia shouldn't have had to have fought Rose. She should have already fought Valentina in November. You're in Toronto? Ever been to Montreal? Yeah, I'm in Toronto. Yes, I've been to Montreal. Um, that's what I love about the US. Depending on where you live, you get warm climates in cold climates. You mean like you get warm weather during like winter or something like that? I mean, that is kind of true because Canada, pretty much wherever you live, it's cold. If you're in Vancouver, it's raining a lot. And if you're in Ontario, well, I mean, it's cold when it's winter or fall, and then it's warm when it's summer. Whereas if you're in Florida or something like that, it's hot all year round. And same with Vegas. Nah, why would she fight Jasmine Jazz the Vizzy? She just got knocked the fuck out by man, and she doesn't deserve that fight. But yeah, nah, I agree. Aaron definitely does deserve it though against Grasso. Grasso versus Wei Li is the fight to make. That's not a bad idea either. Like if Alexa Grasso or sorry, if Wei Li Zhang does stay in the division, then why not give her Alexa? That's the fight she's been calling for a while. So I wouldn't mind them fighting, and I think that would 100% be a banger. It says your device is not connected. Yeah, I don't know. It's taking so long with Valentina's next fight. I mean, I do remember her saying she does have some injuries, so maybe that's why. Yeah, if Conor McGregor's not on that card, then she'll probably fight on International Fight Week. If not, she'll probably co-headline again with Islam like in August or something like that. Oh, there we go.
Yo,
What's up?
yo, so I just remember when Val and Grasso fought in the rematch. Valentina, oh, she gave her that biggest ass whooping ever. It was very one-sided. Grasso was crying. She was screaming. She was all bloodied up. Val gave her that whooping.
Nice rage bait, bro.
Bro, Grasso's power is insane.
It is.
She's knocking everyone out, bro. She's fucking out, bro. Every punch is coming with power. You can hear every shot she makes. It's bone crushing. She rocked Valentina, made her do a somersault. The first girl to drop her. The way she dropped Macy Barber. Macy Barber, fucking, she died. That was more brutal than Valentina versus or
Yeah.
Andrade versus Rose. That was more brutal. The way she grabbed that neck.
Would you say it's more brutal than Andrade versus Kovalevich?
Yeah, but Kovalevich was more funny.
Yeah, that was another bad one. But yeah, this is one of the most brutal finishes in women's MMA.
No, this was the most brutal finish ever. Because
definitely.
when she grabbed that neck, Grasso's probably the best killer instinct on the like. When she seeks submission, she has probably the best killer instinct other than Aaron. But Grasso does it. I feel like Grasso does it faster, but Aaron does it more effective.
Oh yeah, I don't mind Grasso fighting either Whaley or Aaron. Man is
No,
dangerous. Yeah, I agree with that.
Grasso's gonna kill it, Whaley. Grasso's a stylistically horrible matchup for Whaley.
If Whaley's not able to like effectively implement her wrestling, then more than likely, yeah, Grasso will piece her up on the feet.
Well, not just that, Grasso has nasty BJJ.
Yeah, she's very reactive on the ground.
She's also very much longer and she has so much activity from bottom position and she's very strong from bottom position and she's very slippery. And also Whaley, her striking, like Whaley's offensive striking is probably one of the greatest of all women's MMA. She's very destructive, but against a technician like Grasso, it's going to easily overcome that. And Whaley's striking defense and distance management is awful in comparison to Grasso.
Whaley's too hittable. I noticed that when she fought
Jan.
And Jan Chalnan too. Jan was landing a lot of clean shots and even like dropped her a couple of times.
And if Jan can drop you, like imagine what Grasso's gonna do to you.
Oh yeah, Grasso would do her a lot worse.
No, and also I feel like Joanna stylistically a way tougher matchup for Grasso than Whaley because Joanna can fight on the outside, can systematically pick you apart with better endurance than Whaley can. Whaley can't reach you on the outside like Joanna can. Joanna has better kicks and she's more versatile in her striking, and she's just as active on the clinch, and she's longer and she has more reach and she's accurate. So she's going to be able to connect on Grasso from the outside and be able to land kicks on Grasso. And she's more active with it than Whaley is.
Yeah, that would definitely be if Joanna was still fighting and still like at the top of her game, like I would definitely love to see how her and Grasso would match up with each other. I think Grasso
would have the edge.
Obviously, Grasso is like better at her grappling and stuff, better on the ground.
She's an overall well-rounded mixed martial artist.
Like,
she's
Joanna is like hard to take down. In her prime, she had good.
She's probably the best anti-wrestler.
Yeah, good clinch strength, good take down the fence, and she definitely had. No Filter wants to join. I'm gonna add him. She definitely had a range advantage over. Let me add him to the stage. Range advantage over Grasso, distance advantage. But if Grasso could get her in the pocket, that's gonna be trouble because Grasso
and Joanna never had the best defense, and you need to have good defense when you're fighting Joanna.
Exactly. What's up?
When you're fighting Grasso, you can't have bad defense.
Since we're talking about Joanna, first of all, DJC, can you hear me?
Yeah,
am I clear?
Clear.
Okay, what's up, my dude? Good to see you live. Good to catch you live. That's why now I know why I never catch you live, bro. Because you fucking live in Canada.
Oh, the time zone difference.
Yeah, I'm in the Carolinas, bro. So I it's a big difference there. But the thing about Joanna, I heard him talking about Joanna, so I had to jump in. One thing Joanna had that a lot of girls didn't have was the speed. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Joanna had the speed. know what I'm saying? So, were you talking about a hypothetical fight between Grasso and Joanna?
Right.
Dude, I don't think.
Joanna from 2015 to Joanna from 2020.
If you're
I
talking
wish
Joanna 2020, then I would give it to Grasso. But peak Joanna,
2014 to 2018, yeah.
yeah, she wouldn't. Grasso wasn't going to be a match for her back then. I don't think
Oh,
so.
I think 2020 Joanna was a pretty solid version of herself though when she fought
right.
Whaley. Like she came to fight, and it's unfortunate that she ended up disappearing for 2 years after losing that decision because she
Right.
came so close. If she would have just stayed active, she could have beaten other contenders because strawweight was getting weaker back then. She could have earned another title shot, and maybe if her and Whaley rematched earlier, Joanna could have had a better chance than she did, taking 2 years off. Giving
Joanna's the
Whaley a
only
chance to get better, you know.
right.
Even
Joanna's the
even
only
the.
girl.
Sorry, go ahead.
Joanna's the only girl in UFC to have over 300 strikes in her first 8 UFC fights. So her activity in striking was insane. So I don't know if, like, the only girl that knew how to handle it was Valentina because of her background. But overall, no one else, besides probably Rose because of her footwork and movement. But Joanna was fucking everyone up. And I don't think a stationary target like Grasso was going to be able to not get tagged easily by Joanna back then.
Back then, yeah, we're talking about Grasso back then, yeah. But Grasso Grasso now, flyweight Grasso is not the same Grasso.
No, she's not.
Yeah, that ain't the same Grasso.
Yeah, and what was I gonna say? I wish Joanna didn't retire after UFC 275. It's kind of a shame because I would have loved to have still seen her like compete. But I mean, I see why she did.
She's coming back.
And lost motivation for the sport, but I kind of do hope she comes back. You know,
There she was.
Fighters come back.
She said she was coming back. So,
she did.
I mean, she said she was coming back right around the same. She said she was coming back at flyweight right around the same time. Katlyn Chikagian said she was coming back. So we might see we might see Joanna versus Katlyn Chikagian. That would at fly. That would be a fight.
That's gonna be an easy fight for Joanna and Jacek.
Very. But Katlyn was a decent fighter in her own right. Like, she was a pretty good fighter.
Katlyn Chikagian?
Yeah, she was beatable, but I mean, she had good boxing and good kickboxing, and she was long and rangy.
Chikagian was probably the one fighter that she held the record for making people the most frustrated in there, because I have never seen so many fighters with the same look on their face going into a third round with Katlyn Chikagian, where they can't even mess with it. Like, Chikagian was a great gatekeeper for the top part of the division, and not too many people beat you. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of people beat Chikagian. Let's not go like Chikagian done been beat up, because she ain't been beat up like that. So
she was 11-4. She was 11-4 in like in UFC, so she had a good record.
Chikagian was kind of like a female Neil Magny, like tall, rangy, frustrated, good game, test what level you're at, you know. And if you can't,
she was, but with better jiu-jitsu.
Better jiu-jitsu than Magny?
Probably.
I don't know. Magny's jiu-jitsu is pretty solid.
Oh, I haven't seen Magny fight in a long time, so I'm probably like confused right now.
I still don't know how Grasso lost to Felice Herrig. That's so frustrating though, because that was a close fight. I didn't really watch that one, but if they gave that decision to Grasso, she could have been undefeated, like going into the Tatiana Suarez fight.
Herring is a bum.
And if they gave her the decision versus Carla too, she could have been like a one-loss wonder.
That was a robbery.
Title fight. Yeah,
Alexa was robbed. Grasso was running the whole fight against Grasso.
Like, Grasso arguably could only have 3 losses right now to Val, Natalia, and Tatiana. Those are like definitive losses where the other two were kind of weird.
But Carla Esparza was handling Grasso in there though.
I mean, it was a close one.
It was a close one, but Carla was scoring them. Carla was getting that top position, getting that control time. That's the same way Carla beat Marina Rodriguez. Marina Rodriguez almost knocked Carla Esparza out, but Carla was able to time those takedowns and get her down.
Grasso almost knocked her out too.
But Grasso stunned Carla like over 8 times in that fight, and she had Esparza running.
Yeah, that's
Carla was
true.
so annoying to watch though. Because I
Yeah.
never thought that highly of her, and then she kept winning these fights where I'm like, dang, how does she keep like
But
proving me
let's be
wrong and
for real,
coming back from
Spars,
so low?
like Grasso was draining herself at flyweight. At strawweight. She was never a strawweight.
And the thing about Esparza is Esparza was able to capture the belt 2 times outside of her weight class. Carla Esparza is an atom weight, and
Yeah, she
Oh
is.
yeah,
a lot of those girls that fight at 115 are true atom weights. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that Carla was able to capture that belt twice, Carla was actually an elite fighter in my opinion because
Esparza is amazing.
she
Esparza is
also,
Invicta
yeah,
champion, 2-time UFC champion, Ultimate Fighter. The woman's a beast. I think
yeah,
her wrestling was one of the top 5 best pound for pound, and I think her takedowns and her relentlessness was
yeah.
amazing. Her pressure was great. I think it was just her reach that was holding her back. Her reach disadvantage was significant because she was an atom weight.
And Carla had improved toward the later part of her career. She improved in the striking, but she was so tiny. You know what I'm saying? Like
another
it
type
didn't
of
matter
worker.
most of the time.
She had good footwork and like in and out blitzes, and she was kind of good at using her like her boxing to kind of set up her takedowns. But
Yeah,
yeah, I agree. Barber was being dumb. I mean, Barber thought what she had to do was don't shadow box at range, go forward, do what I did in round 3, and I'll get her this time. But she found out the hard way.
I
And now
love
we know
this.
why she shadow boxed at range the first time, because she knew how dangerous Alexa was and she didn't want to take that chance. But now we know why she didn't the first time.
hey
Grasso's
DJC,
boxing's insane. Like top
DJC, I
the
gotta
best
jump off.
boxing in all women's MMA. Then it's Valentina. Then Rose.
What were you going to say, no filter?
I got my lunch break is over. I was on my lunch break, so I just hopped
Oh,
on to holler at you for a minute, bro. I ain't hollered
Have a
at you in a
great
while.
day.
okay.
Yeah. Hey DJC, we got to put together one of them panels again, bro, because
We
that was
do.
fire.
We do.
But listen, man, I'm gonna listen to the rest of your stream, but I'm gonna hop off here. Y'all have a good day.
We
You
do.
too.
All right.
But no, Grasso's boxing's insane. She's probably the best like close range and mid range fighter, especially in the division.
Barber at bantamweight would be interesting. MMA
Barber's
Art said she should go up.
I don't know, because Barber would be a little too small, even though she is big. She's a big flyweight, but she's very compact and short for flyweight. Imagine bantamweight against all these taller girls.
Yeah, Barber would beat Cortez. Cortez just isn't that good.
No,
You know, I wouldn't mind them rescheduling Barber versus Rose, though. I think they could make that fight.
that's a
That's a good
winnable
fight
fight
for
for
that.
either one.
I want to see Barber versus Rose just because Barber has beaten almost all of Rose's teammates. And I remember in 2019, do you remember Barber did a post where like I
Yeah,
think she like circled all
put
the heads of Rose's
signals
friends, and then
of check marks, and then she
and
had sang Roses next.
yeah, she put a target on Rose's face. I'm like, this. I didn't think the fight was possible back then because Barber was a flyweight, Rose was the strawweight champ, and now both are contenders at flyweight. They're both sort of in the same position. Why not make that fight? Oh yeah, Barber Pena. I think Pena beats the shit out of Barber.
She does bad.
She'd sub Barber, I bet.
Yeah. But Grasso really came back after, she got beat up bad in the rematch by Valentina. It was bad, bro. I had Grasso crying, screaming. Oh, it was bad. She came back from that, got a couple
Still show that there's levels to this game.
Yeah,
Like
she
people, I
did.
was so annoyed at people doubting Grasso because people were like, "Oh, she's not that good and got lucky against Val, so yeah, she sucks." And I'm like, "Nah,
Bro, I
bro."
loved how you ignored my rage bait. You were like, nah, this dude, fuck this. But nah, like, why would they say Grasso's not good when she's the only girl that finished Valentina in over 200
It's just
fights?
because she couldn't do it twice, so like they moved the goalpost. Like, oh, because she couldn't beat her twice, and it
Uh,
was a fluke, and she was losing before then. That means she's like terrible. But it's like it's Valentina. You can't expect someone to have the perfect performance against Shevchenko.
against a 35-time world champion,
Yeah, and
sure.
and and Valentina is very hard to beat. So beating her once is difficult. You'd expect to not
That
have the
was a
performance.
generational win.
And then the second one, it was very close. Could
It
have
was
gone
a
either way.
war.
But again,
And
you can't
Grasso did the
expect,
most damage to
yeah,
Valentina.
and you can't expect to have the perfect performance. And the fact that eventually Val figured it out, it's no surprise. But it doesn't mean that Grasso sucks. It just means she lost to the best in the
She
world.
literally she's the only girl to actually have an actual war with Valentina.
Yep, Val usually always dominates, or maybe kind of has close fights, but a
Where
war,
she's
that's
usually the
true.
one doing all the damage. In this
Yep,
fight, the damage was very close.
yeah, both
Grasso
were
was
doing
leaking,
damage.
but Valentina had bruises all her face, which is very rare. So Valentina has over 200 kickboxing striking fights, and she's usually always the one that walks out clean, always the one
Yep.
that does the damage, wins the championships. That never happened with Grasso for the two fights. And
Yeah,
they
and even
say
in the
she
first fight,
sucks.
like Val's nose was leaking all over
I
Grasso's shirt. I
know.
remember Grasso's shirt had like red on it, right? That white shirt she was wearing.
Right.
All that came from Val, and you usually don't see people bust up Shevchenko like that.
Never. Never. And the fucking crazy thing is Grasso had to fight Valentina 3 times in Natalia's still. That's insane. That's an amount of like huge experience in comparison to the fucking fighters that Macy's fighting that aren't even in top 15 now.
And
All
that's
of her
why I
fight.
knew she'd beat Barber again. Like is not on the level to where she can reach the ceiling that Grasso reached. Like Grasso made it to a title
Grasso
fight.
already destroyed JoJo Wood. She already destroyed Vivian. She destroyed Kim. She destroyed this
Yep.
other girl. And all those girls that Macy fought, Grasso would beat them all in the same night.
Oh, totally. Oh, Pena versus Mayra Bueno Silva. I remember this fight was the possibility. That fight could have happened in Toronto a couple of years ago if Pena didn't have complications to her rib injury and could have fought in early 2024. They might have made that fight, and it's possible that freaking
I love
I mean,
Mary.
Pena would have
Mary's
beat her. It's
very
not
smart.
possible. It's certain she would have beaten Mayra Silva because Mayra has like a horrible gas tank and would have folded.
Oh yeah, Mary's very smart. Mary always knows what she's talking about. But Mary, you have to be for real right now because what did she say? Let's see. Grasso did get lucky because she took Val out of her comfort zone. Yeah, you're kind of right on that, but I don't know because Grasso really studied for it, so you can't get lucky for something you really studied for. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep, exactly. She knew Val's tendencies to spin, and she was preparing. She was
You
waiting for that
can't
one
spin in
moment.
front of Grasso.
She'll jump on that back. She's an opportunist. And even when Barber was out, the moment she saw Barber's back, she immediately jumped on it. And I was hoping she was going to do that with Natalia.
Did you see how vicious she got on Carolina's neck for the guillotine?
Yeah, that was down.
My favorite transition was when she did to Barber in the first fight. When she dominated Barber on the ground.
How did Raquel become champ? Well, because Nunes retired, and then because she didn't fight Pena for her first title fight. If Pena would have recovered, Raquel was not seeing that title.
But how come Raquel doesn't have a
boyfriend?
Hey, Carter, I have a question. How come Raquel doesn't have a boyfriend? I never see her with a man.
Because she's married to Tisha Pennington.
What are you saying? Are you saying she's a lesbian?
Yeah, that's news, bro.
Yeah. I'm kidding.
Dude.
She can't be into women. That's a myth. Women can't like women.
How do you know that?
I'm just kidding. Why doesn't Ellen have a man or Nunes? That's fucking crazy.
Speaking of Nunes, I want to see that fight with Kayla already, man. I'm so pissed off that it got canceled 2 months ago.
Kayla makes me laugh.
Close.
When Kayla says the queen of MMA.
Like I need to see Harrison versus Nunes. I want inject it into my veins. I hate that we have to wait till maybe the end of the year for that fight. I don't know when the hell Kayla's coming back. I thought maybe Kayla would be ready for the White House, but nope.
No, but Kayla, I don't know how she's gonna come back the same because you can't come back the same after that neck surgery. But she seems like she's doing just fine.
Let's see. Kayla versus Nunes might be on International Fight Week. I hope so, man. As soon as possible. I need to
This
see
is a
this fight.
winnable fight for either one of them. This is very winnable.
I agree.
Because I don't know. Because I feel like Kayla Harrison's wrestling and jujitsu game and her BJJ wrestling judo is like the greatest of all women's MMA when she mixes it up, other than Shevchenko. And she's good with her striking when she mixes it up. She has good kicks. She has great leverage, great takedowns, great physical strength, great subs, great control, great durability. She has an amazing record, good experience, but Nunes has better BJJ, better explosive power, more experience, better kicks, better striking. She's like, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yep.
Kayla has better endurance and cardio, but Nunes has more reach and more leverage, and she's better at connecting her shots, and she has just as better killer instinct, and she can do it all. So and she can match Kayla in the size. I mean, she has more height. So I don't know. She has better BJJ too than Kayla probably.
MMA Art says he's 1,000% sure that Kayla will finish Nunes. That's a pretty bold take, but I mean it's not crazy to think that. I mean Kayla does. If anyone has a style to take out the lioness, I would say it's Harrison because she's physically more imposing. She's got the wrestling advantage, and I
She
mean,
is,
yeah, if
but
Nunes
she's
can't stop
so
them takedowns, she's cooked.
I know, but the thing is, like, Kayla's very, very hittable, and it only takes Nunes a few clean shots to really finish you.
That's why I'm so excited to see this matchup, and I'm in a hurry to see it because I really
Also,
want to see how it would play out, how their styles would align with each other.
and you saw how like Kayla's scared of big Brazilians, so imagine
Larissa,
Nunes.
she ducked Cyborg.
Right, but the thing is, like, Larissa has advantages that Nunes doesn't have because even though Nunes is a lot more well-rounded, more technically sound, better, like fighter than Larissa, and she has amazing power and better position. Larissa has more physical prowess. She has more durability. She has more endurance. She has nasty jujitsu in her own right. You know what I'm talking about? She's heavier and she's bigger. She hits harder than Nunes. So she probably has us, and she already like studied Kayla twice. So that's something Nunes didn't have.
That's true. I actually agree with Mary's take. Mary says Kayla isn't reckless enough to get hit early by Nunes's bombs, and I think she can comfortably outgrapple her. Nunes also gives up when she's pressured too hard. I agree with this because I remember being so frustrated with Pena in the second fight because Pena got so reckless against Amanda Nunes when she didn't need to, and it got her hurt, damaged up, dropped early, and it set the tone for Nunes for the rest of the fight. Now, I don't think that Pena could have comfortably outgrappled Nunes the way Kayla can, but I unironically enough do think Pena had a better chance to win the rematch than people gave her credit for. But I think she was feeling herself too much coming off the first win and thought, oh, I took Nunes' power last time, so I will this time. But she found out the hard way. But yeah, unlike Pena, Kayla's got size on Amanda, stronger wrestling, and like you said, Mary, she's not going to be reckless. So I mean, Nunes could still catch her. She could still catch her, but maybe not through Kayla recklessly charging in.
Oh yeah. You know what's crazy? I looked up Valentina's striking record, and
Mm-hmm.
she's 114-4-1 in striking in 25 championships. The only girl that outstruck her was Grasso,
Yep.
and that's because like Grasso's the only girl that landed clean on Valentina. Even Nunes didn't. So I don't know. Like Grasso probably does have the best boxing in all women's MMA.
Yeah, I remember. I think DC might have said that like 5 years ago, and I remember thinking
Yeah.
to myself, I want to see her fight Rose to see whose boxing is better. But I
No,
honestly
it's
think
gonna be it's
Grasso for sure.
but I will say though, Valentina did majoritively outstrike Grasso for the whole majority of their fights, like in their rounds, because Valentina did stay on the outside. So she
Yeah,
did when Valentina stood on the outside, she did systematically pick Grasso apart. Like in the trilogy, she stood on the outside the whole time and she was just picking Grasso apart with the kicks, with the counter right check hooks. Grasso's whole head was bobbling back and forth. But when they stood in close range, that's when Grasso
that's
was
when
able to
Grasso did
connect.
damage. Grasso did outland her though in the second fight though. Like you can literally see the stats. Grasso has more significant
Because they
intangible
were in
in that
clinches,
second
and
fight.
Grasso was able to land a lot in the clinch because Grasso's active in the clinch. But when they stood on the outside, that's when Valentina was able to land bombs with her elbows and the jabs and bloody Grasso, and they both landed over 200 strikes. Or Valentina landed over 170, Grasso landed over 100, landed over 200.
Hopefully, Kayla versus Nunes and Val and Natalia are on the same card. That would be pretty epic.
I don't see like heading into the Wei Li fight. I obviously knew Valentina was a better grappler than Wei Li because Valentina has overpowered girls and she's stomped on multiple girls who are bigger, better wrestling, master jiu-jitsu, more experienced grapplers than Wei Li. Like if Valentina was able to put Amanda in a crucifix for 2 minutes and pound her, I feel like Wei Li was going to be much easier than that. And I feel like Valentina's become a much better grappler over the years when she put Amanda in that crucifix, and Wei Li could never do that at her best. So I don't know how people thought Wei Li was a better wrestler.
Yeah, honestly, I thought going into that fight, I mean, I knew Valentina was going to win, but I thought, like, okay, maybe if there's a slim chance that Whaley might have is the wrestling. I thought maybe she could be slightly competitive in the wrestling. I thought Val will control the striking, but Whaley could maybe make moments happen in the wrestling. And my take going into that fight was the only chance that Whaley has to beat Val is physically. She has to be stronger and she has to be a better wrestler, or she has no chance. And we saw in that fight that when she was physically weaker and couldn't out wrestle Val, she had no other way to win because she wasn't close with her on the feet. So
Yeah. Also, like Wei Li's grappling transitions are very incredible and they're very slick. But when I saw the way Valentina was able to grapple and use her transitions on Grasso in the second and third fight, the way she grappled the shit out of Grasso, and Grasso has nasty BJJ and she's very active and experienced and she's much longer and bigger than Wei Li. I'm like, this is going to be much easier on Wei Li, especially because Tatiana can't strike and Valentina can strike ambidextrously in every single counter. She like every single angle she's at, and she can mix it up with her her judo and her wrestling. And the way that she did did remember when she was in that rematch with Grasso and she did that whole fucking guillotine backflip on her and Grasso survived?
yep. Oh, when Valentina had the guillotine on Grasso,
Yeah, that was
dude, I
insane.
was shitting myself in that part. I was like, oh no, please don't tell me Grasso's about to get freaking choked unconscious.
I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I can't see Wei Li having better transitions after I just saw what Valentina just did. I
Because
felt like
Val went from a guillotine to then almost a rear naked choke, and she finished the round with an armbar attempt against Grasso.
I didn't know Valentina had that in her arsenal. So I was just thinking Valentina's not just implementing wrestling, she's implementing judo with wrestling
And
and
jujitsu. But
BJJ.
I mean, she did sub Pena, so I'm not surprised that she almost subbed Grasso because I did know that she's well versed everywhere, you know.
So I never saw Wei Li even beating Val anywhere, and I can't see Wei Li beating Grasso anywhere. I think Grasso's gonna just annihilate Wei Li on
Oh,
the
we're talking
feet.
about Rose versus Wang Kong now. That would be pretty interesting.
Wayne Kong got fucked up by that bitch.
She got destroyed by the girl who got destroyed by Casey O'Neill.
I know, Casey O'Neill. Remember when Casey had Valentina screaming after she beat up her sister?
Yep.
Oh, remember when? You know what's funny though? When Grasso had like Jojo Wood in the fucking submission, she choked the shit out of Jojo Wood.
Yep, I remember that.
Jojo always getting subbed, bro.
horrible sub defense.
The worst sub defense in women's MMA history.
And that was Grasso's first ever submission as well. Now I want to say she has 3 submissions, but they didn't count the Barber one as a submission. But
no, that was a knockout submission.
Yeah.
That was a knockout submission.
That's
also,
the third time, though, she's choked somebody out.
Which is crazy because Grasso's been attempting submissions her whole entire career. I don't know how she never got a submission when she's been attempting it. And it's weird because she looks like she's close to getting it, but then her opponent slips out. Maybe it's because there's a lot. I've noticed it when she was in Invicta, her opponents would bleed a lot. So when she'd attempts, no, her opponents. So when she'd
opponents would bleed.
Yeah, and when she'd attempt submissions, they'd probably slip out easily. Because she did it to that Mizuki girl, she did it to that Ashley girl, and she did it to that Jody girl, and they
got a lot of knockouts though.
Oh, she fucked up that girl in the liver shots, and she had 4 straight knockouts in the regional. She had spinning back kicks, and then later on she knocked out the girl in the liver, and then yeah.
Aldana was also pretty brutal in Invicta as well.
Yeah, she knocked out Jessamine Duke brutally. She knocked out Faith Dude, the girl that fought Cyborg, brutally.
I wish she knocked out Amanda Nunes.
Remember when Tanya Avenger, the fucking
such an embarrassing loss.
Bro, Tanya was a fucking crazy
embarrassing loss, man.
Bro, remember when Tanya puked? Tanya Avenger, she puked in the corner when she fought Colleen and she kissed Laura Senko.
Wait, when did Tanya Avenger fight Holly?
She didn't fight Holly.
Oh, okay, I misheard that then. I do remember her kissing Laura Senko though.
And that's after she threw up.
Oh, that's gross.
She was white trash, but Tanya Avenger was beating the shit out of bitches in Invicta. I'll give her that.
Antonina, I'm sure I'm sure Val will enjoy every single second of beating the beating she would give Casey. You remember when Chikagan beat Antonina right after losing to Valentina? And remember when Val posted a profile pic of her spinning back kicking Chikagan? Like, Val's petty like that. That's why I'm surprised she didn't react to Barber's loss. I thought she might post something after Grasso like destroyed Macy Barber. Kong Rose booked that. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't mind that, but I want to see Barber and Rose fight. But then again, Barber's probably going to take a lot of time off after that like brutal finish loss. So yeah, I'd say do Rose versus Wang Kong, and that would be kind of interesting. I'd have Wang winning, possibly even being able to get a finish there, but I think it's a decent step up in competition. Cortez has more higher level experience. Are you talking about Cortez versus Wang or Rose? Oh, okay. I guess I thought you were talking about the Rose fight. I remember me and Mary back in the day used to debate. Do you remember when we used to debate Rose versus Andrade back in 2018? So crazy how much time has like passed since then. She had a cringy dance though. Maybe that was celebratory dance. We always used to go back and forth. The whole landscape has changed now. It has. I remember I was like the biggest like Rose fan ever. We were like debating before I even started at my own YouTube channel. We would like debate in like Coach Shelton Harrison's like comment thread. And then like in 2020, January, that's when I started this whole YouTube channel and started like making prediction videos and like breakdown videos and stuff like that. And my first ever prediction video was January 9th, 2020. And that was Zhang Weili versus Joanna and Jacek won. And those were the days, man. That was on my first channel, so it's gone, but I have the video on my Google Drive and in my camera roll as well, so it's still out there. But that's just insane how like I've had this channel up for 6 years, and my very first prediction on this channel was correct. I predicted that Zhang Weili would beat Joanna at UFC 248. Mary, you predicted Manon to run through Jasmine months before it happened. And it happened just like that. I thought Manon would probably like win by decision. I was like surprised that she knocked Jasmine out because I knew Jasmine's pretty tough. And I don't know if she's been has Jasmine ever been finished before she fought Manon? Imagine Tina Russell if Kayla stops Nunes. Oh, that's gonna be like a generational crash out. I really think Rose Kong is the fight to make right now. Good win for Kong to climb the rankings, or still a good win for Rose to show she still has something left for sure. And I think the style matches up well. Yeah, I could agree with that actually. I honestly thought there was a chance Jasmine could dominate, but it was small. Most likely to me, Manon was finishing her. Jasmine is just too easy to hit. Yeah, it just shocked me because Manon has won so many fights by decision. I just didn't see her as a finisher like that, you know? Never saw her as like a one-shot person. Wang is overrated. I agree. I mean, she got dropped and subbed by that Gabriella girl, which that was pretty embarrassing. Yeah, my pick was Manon by decision in that fight. But I knew she'd win regardless. Oh man, but the future of this flyweight division is I'm kind of interested to see where it's gonna go because Grasso's climbing her way back. Manon is climbing her way back. Neither of these girls, like neither Aaron, Grasso, or Manon, neither of them are too far off from a title shot. Like all of them are arguably a win away from a shot at the belt. We got Natalia versus Valentina coming soon, and then whoever wins that fight will end up fighting either Manon or Grasso or Aaron. And I'm interested to see how much longer Valentina can hold this belt because, I mean, she's getting up there in age. She's not slowing down by much. She's still very effective, even like at pushing 40. So, I mean, if at this age she's still if she continues to look as solid as she's been looking since the Grasso trilogy and the Wei Li fight, it's going to be really hard to take that belt off her. But she's got a competitive division ahead of her. Like compared to 8 years ago, her contenders were Jessica Ai, Cynthia Calvillo, Jessica Andrade, Caitlin Chukagian, you know, all cans basically. And now she has like actual good competition. You know, she already had the loss to Grasso the first time, had competitive fights with Santos and Manon, and Aaron Blanchfield is coming as well. She's got a tough fight with Natalia Silva. So, and then also Dakota Ditcheva. We got to get her in the UFC. We got to add her to the mix. I'm trying to see Dakota versus Valentina. If none of these other girls can do it, I want to see if Dakota has a chance. I mean, if Valentina gets through all of them, then I think by 2028, either she should look to move up to bantamweight and try to chase the second belt, or just retire because I think she's done everything in the flyweight division. Like if she beats Grasso in a quadrilogy, Manon in a rematch, Natalia and Aaron, if she goes through all of them, then yeah, I think I would like to see her move divisions, honestly. I really would. I would like to see what she could do in the bantamweight division. I think Val pretty much beats everyone at bantamweight except for Kayla Harrison, depending on how long Kayla stays in that division or in the UFC. If Nunes beats Kayla and is still the champion, I would love to see that trilogy between Nunes and Shevchenko. 2028 LMAO. This guy doesn't understand though who we dealing with. Nah, I totally understand.
Yo, I want to see Val versus Dakota soon.
Same. That I think Dakota Ditcheva is like the perfect style to give Val a lot of problems because she's bigger. She actually has the striking to go against her. She's got the clinch ability to go against her. She matches Valentina's Muay Thai.
Well, honestly, I don't know. I can't go that far because let's be for real, Carter. Does Dakota have 110 wins in striking? Does she have over 25 championships? No, she doesn't. So you can't say that.
Neither did Grasso, but look what happened. So never say never. I'm not saying, oh, for sure she beats Val, but I do think she poses challenges to her the others don't. And
so
she's
Val is an active. Val is active in the clinch, but Dakota is like active with an array of strikes coming from every different angle: elbows, knees, front kicks, liver shots, elbows coming from the mid range to the high, high temple. Like she doesn't fuck around, and she's longer and she has more range. And
she don't play.
She don't. Like Valentina's a master counter range striker and she's more versatile, but Dakota has very good resistance when she's taken down, and she's fought very solid grapplers too. So she's not at her risk, you know what I mean?
She trains at ATT, and that camp puts like a lot of emphasis in like putting your grappling abilities to work. So Valentina would have a hard time just going out there grapple mogging her. And then on the feet, it's very competitive. I think Val could struggle with Dakota's range. I think Dakota could fight her at range. I think Dakota could fight her in the pocket. And speaking of the clinch, Manon was able to land shots on Val in the clinch, like knees to the body, elbows. And I'm like, Dakota will do that like 10 times.
Yeah. Yeah. But the thing about it is that Manon was so slow and she was too stationary in comparison to Dakota. That's why Valentina was able to pick her apart and really fuck her up. But with Dakota,
she's not gonna pick apart Dakota as easily. That's gonna be a harder fight on the feet
because Dakota's more mobile.
Yep.
But the thing about it is that Dakota, if she tries to throw kicks, Valentina's going to catch them easily and take her down at will. And Dakota has long limbs, and Valentina's going to be able to easily manipulate her body into a crucifix. So Dakota has to train a lot for that because Valentina is a master at doing it to tall range fighters.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Val has not crucifixed anybody in like a long time. I think that might be kind of figured out by now, but we'll see. But I mean, the next fight for Val, we all know, is going to be Natalia Silva. So, and initially I was thinking that Natalia is definitely the one to do it, but yeah, I don't know anymore. I still think on the feet, Natalia will pose problems, but after seeing that Rose fight where she struggled against the range of Nami Yunez and got held down on the ground, even though it's because she went for a takedown and that's why she got taken down, still, I just think that if you're having those issues with Thug Rose, then I think against Valentina, she's going to have even more problems on the feet with Val's patience and counter ability. And I think she can stop the takedowns of Val initially, but I think the moment Val throws her off balance, I don't think Natalia is just going to pop back up. I think she might get controlled for like the rest of the round. So I don't know. I feel like
Natalia is probably going to get dominated, but because I feel like the strength advantage is going to be too massive. Even though on the feet, at range, it's going to be close. But then again, Valentina's going to use everything to counter Natalia with her grappling. And she mixes everything up at a high level. And she's just too physically strong and she's bigger.
I think I do think it'll be a close fight. It'll be one of Val's like more competitive fights she's had, like Santos and
Manon wasn't that competitive in my opinion, because you can just tell who clearly won that fight.
Right, but yeah, I do think Silva's going to give some problems with like her speed, footwork, angles, and range, and I think she's going to be like hard to counter. And I think defensively she'll do well against Val, but like offensively she might slightly struggle. I think they might kind of cancel each other out a little bit on the feet. but I think it's going to be the wrestling that's going to ultimately kind of edge Vala that fight.
It's
Yeah, I
not
agree.
gonna
Natalia's
edge
gonna be
Val. I feel
more.
like Valentina, the minute she's gonna grab her, she's gonna ragdoll her. And I
I
do,
do, I
and
do
I
agree Natalia lost aura though after the Rose fight.
also Natalia's gonna fucking get countered by Val because Valentina's not gonna chase her. Where Natalia's gonna pick her shots and land all of it, like she did commit against all her opponents. Because when Rose wasn't chasing her, Natalia couldn't really land shots all that cleanly. Like she was able to land cleanly in only one
Yeah,
round, but in the first 2 rounds, she couldn't land very cleanly at all. And she was struggling to pick her shots and she was getting tagged. And I feel like against a master counter range fighter like Valentina, who's just versatile in every angle, I don't see. I
I
feel
got.
like Natalia's gonna come in and Valentina's gonna counter her with a check right hook, take her down at will, and just control her on the ground.
Yeah, well, I got to answer this question. How do you see the grappling exchanges going between Val and Aaron? Now, that one's actually interesting because Valentina does have good takedown defense and is not easy to hold down. But we do see in some fights she does get taken down. She does get kept down a few times. And I do think that if anyone at flyweight does have like the wrestling to go up against Val or
It's
threaten
Aaron.
yeah, exactly. But the thing is I just don't think she'd be able to consistently get Val down. I feel like Val, she usually ends up on the ground due to mistakes she makes in the clinch. And I feel Aaron could capitalize off those split second mistakes. But when they're on the ground, I just feel like if she doesn't get a finish on Val, she's going to struggle to do damage on the ground. And then the moment the next round starts on the feet, good luck finding a takedown without Val, messing up somehow, and then she'll just get pieced up throughout most of the fight. And you know what? I think Val could get her own takedowns on Aaron. So
Well,
I
Val
feel like
is
the
the
grappling
greatest
can kind of go
female
back and
takedown
forth.
artist.
I think that the grappling might go back and forth ultimately. I don't know. I feel like the grappling is sort of even. I feel like both will have a lot of strong moments in the grappling, but because of Val's superior striking, ultimately that's what's going to win her the fight. So I'm going to say the grappling is 50-50, but obviously the striking is like, 100-0 for Val.
Valentina has 70 takedowns against every opponent she's faced in the UFC, like 18 UFC opponents. So
Oh yeah, Valentina can get lost in grappling exchanges, and she doesn't flow well on the ground. I think Aaron has better BJJ, but Valentina is
Aaron
one of the
obviously has better
yeah,
BJJ.
yeah.
That's not even a comparison.
Because we saw
Val
Val to stuff all of Mannon's takedowns, so I do think she can defend Aaron's takedowns as well. And Aaron doesn't have the strongest takedowns. I noticed, like she boxes a lot more than she should in her fights, and then a lot of her takedowns are kind of opportunistic. But when she tries forcing the wrestling, she can't really do it. I mean, she couldn't take Santos down, couldn't take Andrade down to like
I
Andrade.
think Valentina's a lot physically stronger than Aaron, but Aaron has
Yeah,
better transitions than
yeah.
Valentina.
But she struggled to get Rose down. It took her a while to finally get Jessica down. So if you're taking that long to get your takedowns in these fights against Val, it's going to be even harder. The scrambles, that's a good one, honestly. That's a tough one. I think Aaron could actually out scramble Shevchenko, maybe. Yeah, actually, I agree. If Val engages with her the way she tried to engage with Santos in the grappling, then it might kind of play into Aaron's strengths. But if she plays it smart and tries to keep the range, keep it on the outside, doesn't let Aaron get close, I think she has a field day.
Valentina ragdolled the shit out of Kaufman and Maya, though. I don't really consider. I don't really consider those as examples. She countered the shit. She ragdolled the fuck out of Maya like 5 times and Kaufman like 8 times.
Yeah, but I think people are going off that one round. I think it was like round two where like Val got stuck in the clinch and then Maya capitalized and held her down for that round and then
Yeah.
won that round. But yeah, ultimately, I mean, there's really not much to go off of with that fight.
With Santos, you can go off with a lot because Valentina did take her down 4 times, but Santos took her down 3 times and kept her there.
Yep, and got her back.
Yeah, but I will say though, like in terms of activity though, Valentina like just outstruck completely outstruck Santos. It was like 70 or 68 to like 3 or 4 strikes. So I would say that she had to out neutralize Santos on the ground with strikes. She didn't neutralize Santos with physical prowess.
Yeah, that's true. She had to out. You said she had to outmaneuver her with strikes, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And Val, like I said, she does struggle when girls are like physically more dominant than her. Like that was her issue with Nunes. I feel like that could be a problem if she fights Dakota. That was a problem when she fought Manning because Manning was able to defend takedowns, hold her against the cage, control
Right.
the clinch for the most part. So yeah, to beat Val, it's gonna take someone who's like who has size, who can out grapple her consistently and maybe avoid damage on the feet.
Right. It might have to be Kayla Harrison.
Yeah, like she'd have to move up and fight Kayla. Like, I think Kayla would easily win that fight. She
No,
have a chance
Valentina's
against,
gonna knock her out.
she'd have a chance against Amanda Nunes in a trilogy, but against Kayla, like nah, Kayla's not playing that stand up with her. Kayla's not getting taken down, and Val's not defending those takedowns. She's not getting up the moment Kayla gets her down. So
But are you crazy? Valentina's gonna knock Kayla the fuck out. Just wait.
not a
Just wait.
chance. Not a
Just wait. Just wait. We'll see. We'll see that.
hard to find a knockout when you're fighting from off your back.
Oh no, James is going in on you, Mary. Better watch out.
Nunes out grappled her consistently though. Yeah, she did.
Valentina outgrappled Nunes consistently. Nunes did outgrapple her in that second fight.
And in the first one, that's how she won. She just took her down a lot and like
Mm-hmm.
busted her up with ground and pound.
Right, and then in the third round, Valentina had Nunes in a fucking crucifix for 2 minutes and then took her down 3 times. But it wasn't enough because Nunes did it 4 times and then 2 times in the first round. So Nunes definitely edged that first fight out.
For sure. Valentina hasn't outgrappled Nunes ever. Well,
Mary,
round 3 of the first fight though.
she did. She fucking outgrappled her in the third round. So don't you lie, Mary. Mary, we're gonna have to start fighting too, because you're a
But she
lion.
didn't do it in the second fight though. I mean, she tried. I think she tried to judo throw Nunes in the 5th round, and then Nunes
And
ended
then
up on her.
Nunes reversed it.
Yep, I remember that.
Nunes got out grappled by Sarah Dulelio when she had no gas. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that fight. That was like 13
Nunes
years
lost
ago.
to girls that she shouldn't have lost to, but that's because she had no cardio.
The point is, Shevchenko is not a better grappler than Nunes, and it's her weak area. Yeah, I agree. Putting her in
I
against
don't know
strong
about
grapplers is
that.
always going to be a big issue for sure.
Valentina's grappling's top tier.
I
And she
kind of
has
wish
better
we could have
takedown
seen Cat and
arsenal
Nunes
than
run it back at some
Nunes.
point. Speaking of that fight, I wanted that fight when Nunes like won the belt at like UFC 200, but then Cat lost to Pena, and then like lost again to Ketlin, and then lost again to uh, Megan Anderson, and then just left the UFC. But I think Nunes would have destroyed her though if they fought again. She would have smoked her. Yeah, Harrison would be a terrible matchup for Valentina, and I think even the most toxic Val fans would have to admit that she'd stand no chance against Kayla Harrison. Like 0.0% chance in that fight. Do you think Val will be able to just pin Aaron down on the ground or like she did to Wei Lee? No, I don't think so. I know you're asking Mary, but because I'm in this live, I'll just answer before she does if she doesn't answer yet. But no, I think Blanchfield, I think she get held down for like maybe like 30 to 40 seconds, and I think she'd find her way back to her feet. Because the issue is with Wei Lee, she was too small. Aaron is bigger than Wei Lee and maybe a better wrestler, I'd say. So she wouldn't be as easy to control. I wish that we got the rematch with Cyborg and Nunes. It's kind of annoying that fight just got away. I know they fought once and Nunes like smoked her in a round, but I would like to see what happens when Cyborg actually is patient and to see like, okay, could Nunes still like recreate the magic of the first fight, or was that truly a fluke or not? The only fighter I think can beat her is Kayla, mostly because of size, but I'm still riding with the one. She can whoop the giant. Nah. Yeah, I don't think Erin's jujitsu off her back is all that effective. I feel like her jujitsu is more dangerous when she's the one on top. Because like I've seen her on her back before, and I've never seen her like whip up triangles or arm bars. She's not like Pena, where if Pena's on her back, Pena will actively look for subs from bottom. Val versus Cyborg. Interesting because they trained together. Are you gonna speak or what?
Oh, hey. I didn't know
Yo.
I was still here because I thought, like, okay. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
because I saw you request to like come back in.
Oh, yeah. But no, I feel like Valentina can beat everyone. I feel like it's gonna take a Hercules effort to beat her now. I think she's on top of her game. She's too well rounded. She's too versatile. She's too powerful. She's rejuvenated. I feel like she's gonna dominate Silva. And then her next challenge is gonna be definitely Aaron or I feel like Alexa is gonna possess problems in the quadruple fight. I feel like her biggest threat is definitely Manon, Aaron, or
I can agree with that.
oh, I don't think it's Silva. I think it's going to be those three. And I don't think she's fighting Grasso anytime soon, but Grasso's going to get a win or two, one more win. And then I think she's going to fight either Manon or Aaron. I feel like that's going to be her tougher fight, but I feel like she's going to have an easier fight with Manon than Aaron because Manon can't threaten Val on the ground and Aaron can.
That's true. But yeah, I do feel like if Grasso, if she had a fourth chance against Val and a second chance against Silva,
She's
I
giving
honestly feel like she could do better. I
no.
think she could be just as competitive with Val as she was in the second fight in a fourth one. And I think against Natalia, now knowing Natalia's weaknesses that were exposed against Nami Yunez, Grasso is a smart fighter. I think she'd make the adjustments. She wouldn't chase her as much. And I think she'd come in this fight a lot more confident because she wouldn't be coming off a dominant decision loss of her title this time or a leg injury. I think those were two of the biggest factors when she fought Natalia Silva last time.
Honestly, I feel like Grasso, the minute she doesn't chase Natalia and then they fight in the pocket, Grasso's just gonna be able to just easily counter her and just land on her.
And when they fought, I was hoping that Val or Grasso would just jump on Natalia's back whenever Natalia would
Yeah,
spin. But in
I
this
feel
fight,
like
she was so
Grasso was
hesitant.
injured in that. No, Grasso was injured, so it hindered her mobility. I feel like right now, I feel like as soon as Natalia starts spinning, I feel like a more mobile Grasso is going to be able to try to jump or at least be more agile enough to counter Natalia's movements when she spins and
Oh,
be able to
totally.
take it to the ground more easier than not, you know?
For sure. And I remember before that fight, I thought the way to beat Silva is you got to put pressure on her. And I thought that was Grasso. When Grasso had that game plan, I'm like, oh, she's doing the right thing. But it just ended up working against her. But, I think now knowing what she knows, she'd approach it a lot differently. And I remember she was landing jabs early on Natalia, like early in the first round. So she can like land on her.
Yeah. She just got to be more patient. She just needs patience.
Yep. If they book Kayla versus Chev, that's free money. I'm betting my house uh anything better than minus 400 on Kayla. That's a good bet. I think Grasso can beat Manon, but she's not beating Natalia or Shevchenko. We'll
I think
see.
beat Natalia, and I honestly think she's not beating Valentina, but she's definitely going to give Valentina a much better fight.
Yeah, and she already did it once before.
Yeah, so it's
Do it again.
not a possibility.
And yeah, I would hope she beats Manon if they fight. I just worry Manon would just, the approach she tried with Valentina, I fear that would work on Grasso because
I
Grasso
do.
is a lot weaker
Because
than Val
Grasso's a
and
lot
not as
physically
good at
weaker
defending
than
takedowns. So
Valentina.
she might get like lay and prayed on for 5 rounds or 3 rounds,
And
depending on
then,
how that
and
is.
also, I feel like Manon is going to be more active. I don't think Manon's going to lay in pride. I think she's going to be active with her shots when she
Like on
has
the feet or ground.
when she has Grasso on the cage, and she's going to be able to land punches from the side, and probably when she gets her to the ground. I feel like it's going to give her 2 takedowns overall in the fight, and she's just going to drown Grasso. But I feel like on the feet, it's going to be very competitive, but I feel like it's going to go to Grasso, and she's going to land the more accurate shots, but Manon's definitely going to keep her at range with her kicks. But then when they're going to trade in the pocket, and then when they're going to be in the clinch area, Grasso's going to be able to land more shots on her. But then Manon's going to shake it off. So it's going to be a close fight overall, but I can definitely see it going to Manon.
Yeah, that's a pretty good take. Grasso is probably a bit more scrappy than Valentina, though. Valentina was standing around allowing Manon to bully her. Grasso isn't as good at grappling, but she's very active up close. True.
Because Manon wasn't really doing much to Valentina, so I don't think Valentina felt threatened. All she had to do was just land strikes on the clinch, and that's what she was doing. When they were in the pocket, though, that's when Valentina was landing like significant amount of damage to Manon, and that's when she was landing all the shots, all the significant shots were landed from Valentina from the pocket. That's where she hurt Manon a lot.
And then that knockdown in late round 4, that's what really sealed the fight. Because I thought up until that point, I thought Manon was doing good in the 4th round. And it was, I think the score was 48-47. So, I mean, without that knockdown, there was a good chance that Manon might have been able to edge it. But I think what got Manon hurt in that, trying to throw those like
I
kicks
don't know, I
on
feel
Val, and Val kept timing them. And
like
that's why her coaches kept saying, stop kicking, just box with Val. And I think that's why she got her nose broken early, too.
I feel like Valentina and Grasso's power after they fought each other immense.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Valentina's striking has gone a lot more deadlier and a lot more powerful. She's hitting a lot harder now because she dropped both Manon and Wei Li.
Yep.
And Grasso, she dropped Val and she knocked out Macy. Like her striking's gone a lot crazier too, like more powerful too.
Yep. Yeah, Valentina, and she's put on more size, too. Like, Val is a lot more physically imposing now, more
I'm,
muscle.
I'm surprised Valentina didn't drop Grasso. Grasso has a granite chin.
Yeah, and she's got that Mexican toughness.
Because Valentina was landing in like crazy counters and she stunned Grasso. Grasso didn't get close to getting dropped. She
I
just got
was worried in the
bobbled.
3rd fight that Val might drop her, because I remember Val kept finding a home for that check hook when Grasso was entering. I'm like, oh shoot, I hope Grasso doesn't somehow like get chin checked. But then Val just switched to her wrestling instead. So, but
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting to see where that fight would have gone if
the
if
same.
Val chose to strike, because she was doing better on the feet before wrestling anyway.
I will say though, when Valentina was doing it to Manon, she was putting damage on Manon and she dropped Manon. And I thought Manon was more durable than all these other girls. But when they fought Valentina, it seems like Grasso is, despite being smaller, she's probably more pound for pound durable.
Oh, totally. But what was I gonna say again? Oh, do you guys know that Manon and Natalia were supposed to fight in 2021 for Silva's UFC debut, but Silva got injured? That would have been interesting if Natalia and Manon fought 5 years ago.
Honestly, I don't know who would have won.
That's a good, maybe Manon, honestly,
Probably. Win.
but I'm sorry, not Grasso. Natalia would have had a good chance at solving that Manon puzzle before Val did.
Kagan gave Manon hell. I think Silva could have gave her hell too.
Oh yeah, Kaylin Chikagan kind of gave her a close fight.
Kagan was very underrated.
She was.
Lauren Murphy was that bitch. Lauren Murphy was
So crazy how far this division's come. Like, you had Jessica and Caitlin and Murphy fighting for belts, and Jessica Andrade fighting for belts, and now we have actual legit serious contenders.
Liz Carmouche was dangerous. Liz Carmouche is a dangerous fighter.
Yeah, and she's doing pretty well in the PFL, right? She's in the PFL, right?
Yeah, she's destroying everyone.
Yeah, that's actually true. She's kind of surprising me with her success.
She's crushing everyone. She should fight Dakota next. That's gonna be a good test for Dakota.
I actually do want to see Ditcheva fight. I want to see Ditcheva fight.
Carmouche.
Yeah, I want to see that fight.
It's gonna be a good fight. Carmouche she had a good record in Strikeforce and Invicta, and then she was fighting the best in UFC. She was stopping a lot of people. She gets dominated by Valentina, and then she leaves UFC. She starts destroying everyone in Bellator, and now she's PFL champion, tournament champion after being Bellator champion. Like she's a good fighter. Like I want to see that fight. I think. Ditcheva is gonna win, but I think Liz is gonna give her a good test. Imagine if Liz knocks Dakota out.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that Santos and Carmouche haven't fought yet.
No, they have. Santos won.
Oh, when was this?
This was in 2024 or
Oh,
2023, late 2023.
how did she win?
She won by 49-48 unanimous decision because she had
Oh,
choke control for a majority of the fight, even though Liz was landing the significant shots.
okay. Hold on, let me look up her shirt on. I wish Tyler Santos was still a contender in the UFC though. She was so good.
She was, but I feel like after Val broke her orbital bone, she just never was the same.
Unfortunate, man. She was because like when she almost beat Val and she gave her that tough fight. I want to see her next UFC fight, and then she fights Aaron. I was disappointed when she lost that fight, but even then she did good. And I'm like, she just needs the right
What?
matchup, and I think eventually she could get it together and maybe start
We'll
winning.
drive in an hour. I'll tell you later.
What?
Wendy's.
Oh, he's talking.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, what were you saying, bro?
I was just gonna say, like, yeah, Santos, if she stuck around in the UFC, like she could have eventually picked up some wins and maybe
Yeah,
been in title contention.
for sure. I mean, Valentina dominated 9 straight fights, completely destroyed them until she fought Santos. Santos gave her some good hell. Santos was the only girl at flyweight at that point to control Valentina. And even though I thought it was a unanimous win for Valentina, Santos gave it a split, and Santos won rounds, and Santos actually put Valentina in some positions that no one else was able to do to Valentina, especially at that time. But then she just had to get her orbital bone broke.
And I gotta wonder if Santos was still in the UFC right now, outside the champ, like how do you think she does against the likes of Manon, Natalia, Grasso,
I
and
think
an Aaron rematch?
I think she beats Natalia because even though Natalia is the better striker, Santos is gonna land the takedowns and just drown her on the
Mm,
ground for the majority of the fight. She's too strong and big.
I
Man
could see that.
Manon wins that fight. I think Manon wins because Manon is physically as strong, if not stronger, and Manon is the best anti-grappler in the division. She has the best takedown defense. She's better striker. She has more power. She has more mobility, better kicks. She's going to win a comfortable unanimous 49-48 decision. Um I feel like with Aaron, I feel like a more healthier Santos wins that fight, but Santos wasn't healthy during that time because she came back from an broken orbital bone from Valentina. And I feel like if she
True.
Valentina again, Valentina finishes her. Because I feel like Valentina, when she fought Santos for 2 straight rounds without grappling her, she was able to almost finish her. I feel like now if she fights Santos again, she's gonna just stick to the striking and just finish her.
What about Grasso and Santos?
I think it's gonna be a very close fight. It can go either way, but I'm gonna lean to Grasso. I feel like back then, like I feel like even in 2023, Grasso would have won because Santos was a weaker version of herself. But I feel like if they fought when Santos was more healthy, it could have leaned either way, because Santos is not active. Santos is gonna physically overpower Grasso in the clinch, but Grasso is gonna be able to do what Valentina did and just break Santos down with her strikes. And she's going to actively look for submissions on her bottom position like Val, but she's going to be more scrappy with it. And then on the feet, Valentina Grasso's just going to pick her apart. So I think it's going to be a win for Grasso.
I can't wait to start my nightmare matchup series again. I think I'm gonna get that video done for like May. I think I'm gonna wait till after UFC 328, see what happens with Kamzat and Strickland, but I already know what I'm gonna put for Valentina now. Because this division just got a whole lot more interesting with what we saw last weekend. So
Yeah, but I mean, when you look at Valentina's performances, she goes down flyweight, beats the fucking life out, annihilates Priscilla, beats the shit out of Nico, fucking knocks the shit out of Jessica I.
She didn't fight. You said she fought Nico. That fight never happened.
They did. I made it up. So bear with.
Nico ducked that smoke. I mean, she's lucky that they never fought.
Then she beats the absolute fucking shit out of Kaylin Chukagian. She dominates Liz. Then she destroys Jessica Andrade, Liz Carmouche.
Beat Joanna.
Dominates, systematically picks apart Joanna and Jennifer Maya. Then she fights Santos, and that's her own. Then she gets into trouble. She wins convincingly in the striking, in the significant shots, but controls it. But she loses in some moments in the grappling. It's a close fight overall. She edges it. Then she loses to Grasso in a close fight that she gets caught in a sub. She loses to Grasso. She comes back, dominates the shit out of Grasso. Then she beats Manon, dominates Whaley. Like, what's next? Like,
Silva's next.
yeah. She beats Manon convincingly. The only people that gave her trouble really was Grasso. And now people are putting respect on Grasso's name. Because look at what she's able to do. Dominate everyone besides Silva.
Yeah, I'm glad that people are now starting to see what I'm seeing with Grasso, because before people thought, oh, you're just simping, you're just overhyping her. She's not all that. Even when she became the champion, people were still like skeptical, but in this non-title win finish, now everyone sees it. Now everyone's a fan. Now everyone thinks Grasso is cool. And I've been on this Grasso train since like 2020.
She gave Val hell in that rematch.
Yeah, like you said, no one's ever given Valentina a war.
That was Valentina's toughest fight.
First to ever finish her, first to ever drop her, first to ever do actual facial damage to her.
And the first girl to actually make Val pay.
Exactly. And Grasso's just not someone you want to stand in front of and like trade with. And Val fought with her ego early round 2 and then got put down. It just makes me imagine how badly like Grasso would have destroyed Jessica Andrade if that fight would have happened. Man,
Jessica that would have been what Yan did.
Oh yeah, what Yan Xiaonan did, or Zhang. Yeah, she'd brutally destroy her in like a round.
But let's not lie though. Macy Barber in that first fight with Grasso, she was giving Grasso a beatdown in that final round. She was giving it to her. She was making Grasso scream. She was pounding her out. She was bludgeoning Grasso. Remember that with Macy?
Total exaggeration, bro. She won the round, but I'm not even gonna engage as a rage bait. But yeah, she thought because of that round, she has to rush Grasso earlier next time, and again, paid for it.
Macy's dumbass. She was over here overhyping everything, saying, "Oh, I was dominating the end of that." Bitch, you were getting dominated for the whole 11 minutes. For the first 11 minutes, you were losing the whole fight, and then the final 3 minutes, that was the most competitive you made it, and Grasso was still able to land a lot of shots on you. It wasn't a domination. You just edged it a little bit in the first 3 last minutes.
And you know what? I thought Grasso was leading the beginning of round 3. It wasn't until Macy took her down and then landed some ground and pound, and then Grasso got up to when, or that's when Macy like started like kind of putting it on her a little bit. But Grasso was injured in that 3rd round. That's the only reason why Barber was able to come back.
Alexa's takedown defense was really good in that fight.
Oh yeah, Grasso did hurt her knee in that 3rd round, Zam, and I totally believe that. It makes a lot of sense why she kind of lowered her output, started going on the defensive. It wasn't because she was gassed or just coasting. She can fight till the end. We've seen her go 5 rounds. She finished Valentina in the 4th. She won the 5th against Valentina, so she's dangerous over the long haul of a fight. It's just that in that particular fight, she got unlucky, and maybe she injured her knee. Maybe it was the grappling sequence. I got to listen to Grasso's explanation on that again, but yeah, it makes total sense why round 3 was bad. And many people thought, oh, it's because Barber started letting her hands go and she's got more of a dog in her, which is far from the truth.
You know, I really hate Yamin's profile pic. I think it's retarded. I think it's awful. I think he needs to change it.
And I think you probably love my profile pic then, huh?
I think it's beautiful, actually. I think it's historic, but this one needs to go.
I wonder why.
Like, oh, Grasso. Oh, the way she has that. Valentina, no, very traumatizing. I'm sure. Oh yeah, I'm sure you beam inside when you look at it. You're like, beautiful picture, you bitch.
It is a beautiful picture.
Bro, but what's next for Alexa? I think a little time off, 7 months off, come back, give her a good contender, probably Aaron.
Yeah, we're gonna UFC, hopefully in Guadalajara, because she wants the UFC to go to Guadalajara, but I think she'll fight on the next Noche UFC card in September of 2026. That's when I think we'll see her again.
Does she have to fight in Mexico? She's always fighting in Mexico. Fight in the States.
I mean, Noche hasn't really gone into Mexico before, so her next fight probably will be in the States.
Yeah. I'll honestly make my girl happy, so I think she should fight wherever she wants. Give her a headlining fight card. Have her be the headliner.
Yeah, I don't know if she'll headline the next Noche card, though. We'll probably put like 2 men on that card, have them headline.
Wait, when is Suarez fighting?
She's fighting April 11th.
Oh, okay.
That's
Very
soon.
soon.
Yep.
I think she's gonna win.
Me too. I don't get people picking Tatiana or picking against her in that fight.
No, I think she's the better grappler. She's a taller range fighter, and I think she's going to easily land the takedowns. Loopy doesn't have good takedown defense.
Facts. Grasso versus Manon or Aaron in Guadalajara. Let's go. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing her headline in Mexico. The last couple Noche UFC events, they've depended on like male fighters to headline. So I don't know. Diego Lopez will probably headline the next one, or maybe Yair Rodriguez. Wait, Carolina, who? Who are we talking about? Luana Carolina? I'll give you guys this. Grasso is probably the biggest draw at strawweight. She's not even a strawweight anymore, though. I don't get that. Even though there is no real straw or draw right now, I still think she gets the most love. Has a country behind her and a style and a fan-friendly style. Yeah, I can agree. Oh, flyweight. Okay. Yeah, I can agree with that. All right, but I'm gonna end this live now, but it's been fun talking to y'all. But I just got other things to do now. But thank y'all for joining, and I'll go live again soon. And yeah, peace out.